Oh man, we've got some crazy Marvel news for you in this one. I think it's going to make for a super fun video. Channing Tatum Gambit survived the fight in the Void.
I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah.
I don't think you guys walk away from this.
You just make sure people know what happened here today.
Yeah, man, we all thought he was dead after that fight. I mean, that was like the whole point, right? Like the sacrifice, the heroic sacrifice of that fight. But alas, in the post-credit scene, they show that Gambit actually survived that fight. And on top of that, Ryan Reynolds himself has been out there talking about Channing Tatum Gambit, talking about Wesley Snipes, talking about like all of his teams, like the cameo team, the Resistance, that's in Deadpool and Wolverine. Because it seems like what's happening right now is they are sort of lobbying or maybe gauging fan interest to see if any of these characters should actually return in an additional movie or for Secret Wars or something like that. And oh man, just wait until you see the craziness of like the post-credit scene proving that Gambit lived, and wait until you hear what they're saying about all these awesome characters. Okay, let's get into this, and let's begin with that post-credit scene. At the end of the credits, there is a scene where Deadpool wants to show you what Johnny Storm actually said, basically to prove that he, Deadpool, is innocent. He did not get Johnny killed, but even though Johnny said all that crazy shit, like Deadpool definitely got him killed because he told Cassandra about it, like, you know what I mean? But anyway, in that scene, we can actually see on one of the TV screens within the TVA, Gambit, and this is him looking around after surviving the fight in the Void. Now, of course, in the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine saved that timeline. They kind of like create a new timeline, like based off the power of friendship or some shit. And B-15's like, I don't know what you guys did, but that's awesome. You guys saved this freaking timeline. You know what? Rest up, because I feel like your work's just beginning. That feels like sequel franchise kind of talk. And I feel like the end with Deadpool going to the TVA kind of shows that he's working with the TVA still, you know, which I think is awesome. And by the freaking way, I have like a dope theory about how they could have all these characters back and do something crazy, but I want to save that. I'll talk about that later in the video. Now, the TVA does not reset the past for our Logan or his timeline, saying that made him into the person that he is, which is fair, but then they do go into the Void and save at least X-23, right? Deadpool's like, hey, we had some friends that helped us out on this. The world forgot about them, which is kind of like a theme, forgotten heroes, right? That's like, you know, the theme. And the TVA absolutely goes back and gets X-23. And if X-23 survived that crazy freaking battle in the Void, and if Gambit survived that battle at the Void, which appears to happen because of the post-credit scene, then I could absolutely see Channing Tatum's Gambit being saved and being brought into whatever mission, whatever thing they are doing in the next movie or something. And guys, you gotta check this out. This is what Ryan Reynolds himself said about Channing Tatum. He says, Gambit is a guy Chan was born to play. His story is similar to mine in that he spent a decade trying to put the most comic accurate version of Gambit on the big screen. Remy LeBeau is grafted to his soul and needs to come out and deal. And Gambit found his author in Chan. He's one of the coolest, smartest characters in comics and still largely unexplored. I want more, and from what I saw in the theaters, you do too. Having the chance to say goodbye to some of these heroes is as important as having new characters to root for. Rooting for Chan is even easier. He's one of the greatest, hardest working, kindest people in the entire industry. I couldn't be more thrilled to see Channing Tatum pull Gambit from the dead and bring him to life at the perfect time and perfect way. Hashtag Gambit. And then to follow up, just because bromances seem to be the theme of this movie and everything surrounding it, let's look at what Channing said here in response. He said, these pictures are almost 10 years apart to the day. I sat in the audience when Ryan Reynolds showed his first peek of Deadpool 1 to the world, and I think I ran backstage right after and found him, and I think I just hugged him and was like, holy shit, you did it, man. It's perfect. I didn't know him really at all back then, but since then, I can say that there is almost no one that has had my back in this industry more than Ryan Reynolds. I thought I had lost Gambit forever, but he fought for me and Gambit. I will owe him probably forever, because I'm not sure how I could ever do something that would be equal to what this has meant to me. Love you, buddy. Sean Levy as well. Truly such a brilliant creator on every single level. All things happen for a reason. I'm so grateful to be in this movie. It's a masterpiece, in my opinion, and just pure badass joy. I was literally screaming in the theater, let's fucking go. Do you feel that, man? Like, do you feel those fucking vibes? Like, that's awesome. Like, this is incredible, right? And these dudes absolutely love these characters. They love each other. They love the nerdy shit. I mean, dude, we're talking about grown fucking men that are getting emotional on social media about being able to play a character that's dressed up, a character from comic books, something that, like, you know, nerds like us really fucking get, man. We get it. When we were young, we watched those characters, man. It made a fucking impact on us, and we wanted to be them. We all played, you know, Gambit or X-Men or whatever, right, in the yard or the living room. We've all been there, right? And these guys get to do it on the biggest stage ever to the most fans that you can imagine. They absolutely nailed it. They gave me something that's truly special. Like, I fucking love Deadpool and Wolverine. It is an awesome movie, but it has been really awesome as well to just cover the movie. For what I do, this has been a great period of time, man, to get everybody excited about Marvel again, to be hyped up, just having a good fucking time. It just feels so good. Okay. I was yapping there. Let's get back on track. Let's talk about the actual possibility of live action Gambit. I am absolutely down. Now, I've already seen, you know, like most things, people are a little divided on this. There are some people that are like, nah, man, like, we need a new actor to play Gambit. And I will be completely frank with you guys. The Channing Tatum Gambit is not like my ideal version of Gambit. I don't think it's the most comic book accurate, but it's a damn good version. And I really like what Channing did. He's like really funny, dude. Like, there's something about him that's really, really funny. All the lines have become super memeable, but I will also say that action is badass, dude. Like, the way they did the action, the way he's like flipping around, the cards, like all of it. Like, dude, it's super fucking cool. So they kind of nailed it with this version of Gambit. Not exactly comic book, but I think iconic nonetheless. And I think we also got to just look at this too, because Reynolds is on this big campaign lobbying for his people, the people he brought back, and that includes the friggin' GOAT, Wesley Snipes. And so Reynolds says here, there is no Fox universe or MCU without Blade first creating a market. He's Marvel Daddy. Please retweet for a Logan-like send-off. I mean, he's doing this with Jennifer Garner. He did this as well with Daphne Keane. He's gassing up his people, and who can freaking blame him? He has the biggest movie in the world right now, and he absolutely nailed the assignment by bringing OGs like friggin' Wesley Snipes back. I'm telling you this, man. I was just watching Blade 2 last night. Wesley Snipes is the fucking man. There's nobody cooler than Wesley Snipes. We need more Wesley Snipes, and I'm excited for Mahershala Ali Blade. But I agree with Ryan Reynolds that there is room here for a Logan-like send-off. And he kind of puts it into the Gambit bit a little bit more, where he's talking about how respecting these characters is just as important as rooting for the new ones. And I think he's kind of saying, like, look, we need to, like, really be grateful for this legacy. We need to celebrate this legacy, and then we can, you know, bring in the new people. And look, I think the perfect way to do this is to do an Exiles movie. I mean, it is literally right there for Marvel to do. The Exiles is a group of heroes that go around the multiverse solving all these multiversal problems. They're kind of like unsung heroes, you know, keeping a lot of like crazy, dangerous timelines in check. And I mean, if you think about what's going on in the MCU multiverse right now, and you think about how Deadpool is literally working with the TVA, him and Wolverine like created a new universe or something, like that's absolutely nuts. And you have all these forgotten heroes from the void. Dude, if they all survived, team them up, give them TVA technology, and make them the Exiles. Make them go into all kinds of different universes and have all kinds of different adventures. Dude, I would watch like 4 or 5 movies of them being the Exiles. So we know X-23 lived. The post-credit scene seems to imply that Gambit lived, and we know that there's a lot of fan love and love amongst the actors to try to get something like this done. So I wanted to share it with you here. If you think it's a dope, awesome idea, share this video out. I'd appreciate it. And who knows? I mean, maybe we could actually see this happen. I think right now, Marvel's riding high on this win. Why not double down? Why not get more wins? Why not do Exiles? I'm gonna make a name for myself. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.